is actually working with funding. Funding here the artists. If you have a dance festival or trainer you like training for free. So they will be presenting funding which is open. What I like about the funding here NEC guys, it's open. You're good at it. Yeah, you gonna apply?
Yes.
Who's gonna apply? Can you raise your hand if you're gonna apply for funding? Funding to support these small programs. We are doing a lot of work there, and you don't get funding. So, and I want to acknowledge the Film and Publication Board. Guys, these guys are very busy, They just came here for you. And if you want to be a filmmaker, you must know these guys. And not just a filmmaker, you are doing content online.
Yeah.
These people are very important. You must know the regulations and all these things. So we've been working very closely with them. I'm very glad, guys, Uri, when I reach out to you to ask Uri, guys, we can't just do this program. We don't just want to hash it. We want it to be perfect so that those who come here, they benefit. So thank you for coming. SABC as well, because I think when you are a filmmaker, you are shooting and you want to shoot a story. Or schemes are. You got a movie there. You must know how you get that movie there. Quality, all those things. They will be doing presentation online. We'll be watching it in our cinema. Who will cinema? You will see it. Yeah, so I just want to appreciate all the stakeholders of the. And we're going to watch a movie today at 6 o'clock. There's a documentary of one of the filmmakers submitted. And we're going to watch a movie from Silo at 6 o'clock. And don't be angry when you criticize, because at the film festival, you say, my brother, Mara, that one is like a Nigerian thing, that's like yeah, so I want to acknowledge another young man. My brother, what's the name by the way? Your name? Muketwa Alsola. He started, as young people, they started a business of security, bouncing in events and everything. So he also approached me, I don't know him. He said, my man, I've got bouncers, man, can we come and work in your event? He wanted to come to the festival, my Google stuff. I said, it's not my event. I told the guys, this guy, he want to do this job. They didn't call him. Mara, later on, they realized they need him. So I saw him here, I was very happy. So he approached me as well. I said, no, guys, we need your service because people must be safe. You can't do an event, you take anything for granted. Because we don't want our stakeholders here to be harassed or to be troubled. You know, remember area when we did an event, there was a guy who was fighting with this woman. And that guy came with, you remember, you were there. The guy came with a gun, he wanted to shoot a woman there. Fortunately, because, I don't know what happened, when he was entering the hall, fortunately, the guys, they saw him, hey, and then they called police. You see, security is very important. We don't take security light. We don't want problems, we want everything to go well. So I also want to acknowledge the colleagues that I work with very closely. I want to acknowledge her. She's actually our project coordinator. And we just want to thank you for this project. I'm Chabi Mako. And I've got Una there as well. I'm Chabi Mako. Una is also with us. Running our admin and Mashudu there. That's all. Mashudu. Whether the traditional vendor dance events, cultural events, you need to focus because you might as well get funding in. Yeah, so I think with these few words, I'm going to hand over to our very capable festival director to have a few words. You'll be the one who will be running the show. If you want anything, he'll be able to advise. By the way, there's toilets this side at the back. Ne? There's also toilets up there. You'll see them. You just choose which ones you want to use. So I'm just saying it's important for people who are not familiar with this place. Thank you very much.
Good morning. Morning. How are you? I'm okay. My name is Palidi Machata. I'm the festival director. Mine is simple. I like order. That's one thing about me. So I've seen you guys coming in and my team. I haven't had like a good chance to talk to you. But then I think when time goes on, we'll have good engagement. I'm the national coordinator of South African Agricultural Forum under the leadership of President Romeo Ramoda. This man took me when I was still in high school. When I first met him, I was running organization where we had young people. We do arts and culture in different forms: acting, singing, dancing. We had people who were doing drawing, poetry, all of those things you can think of under arts and culture. So I met Romeo. Then the second, I think we met. It was during the week. Then the following week, he called me and he said, "No, Mamen, we just started this organization. I want you to be the coordinator for Waterberg District." That's how we started. A week after meeting him, then I was the coordinator of Waterberg District. Then I moved, then I became the provincial coordinator, then until now as the national coordinator. Thank you. Yeah. So I always had passion with young people, working with young people, and we are right now we are in June. It's Youth Month. We are wrapping up Youth Month, and then we are having this festival, Young Emerging Filmmakers Festival. So this is your festival. Here you are going to ask the questions everything that you want to know. When I came here, I'm from Sekhukhune. I came from Sekhukhune. We're hosting another, it's a script to screen and television training. So where we train filmmakers about how do you transform your script to the screen. We're doing pre-production, production, and post-production. So we are covering all of those aspects. So now when I see you here, and even the setup here is the setup that we need that side. So, but maybe in the near future, we are going to host another one for specifically Vembe filmmakers, because we realize that if we just say Limpopo, we end up covering small number of people. But we are trying to make sure that the government, when there's opening call for fundings, we apply, and we also help you. You can apply and do the same thing, because there's so many people in this country, and the majority of these people in the country, especially look at crime, there's so many criminals, and for you to be a criminal, you have to be creative. So those people who do house breakings, I'll give example with Money Heist. Imagine if those people, they didn't decide to put down a movie like this, but they put like a proper heist. It's proper, that thing, well thought of and everything, well researched and everything. So you can see that if you don't have programs like this to make sure that young people, because we are still energetic, we utilize their energy in the right direction or in the right spaces, they'll end up becoming criminals. So even to NAC, please, Limpopo is one of the rural provinces. Put more money here. If possible, let's have a budget. When you break down the budget and say this money is for Limpopo, then the rest of the provinces, they will they will apply for the other one. Then we must have our own specific fundings, because we are trying to make sure that we are engaged. We engage in these programs, and also on TV. Now I'm talking to you filmmakers, future filmmakers. On TV, a lot of content. If you remember back then, we used to dominate. We had a lot of Soto, Tswana programs, shows, dramas, and you can name them. But right now, even Skim Sam is not even shot in Limpopo. Even Movango is not even shot in Venda. Only few scenes, there and there, you can see now, here I know this place. They just come and take a shot of this view here, then they'll come, no, this is in Jelele. Then, but when you look at these people, they're in a studio, they're shooting in studios in Joburg. So we want everything that belongs to the province, that represents the province, to be produced here in the province. That way we get jobs. You know, one thing I like about film is this. It creates a lot of jobs. You find that for a scene, to shoot a scene like this, you want someone who does catering. You see here, there's water here. You want someone who does costume designing. It depends on the scene, what you want. But you can see already 2 people are hired. And then you want cameramen, you want someone who's going to edit, you want someone who's going to do lighting. Those are different people. Those are different companies supplying different services. So if we can prioritize or educating people about film, how film works, especially more in black people don't support art. But you find that when they go to England, they take pictures of things that were made here, even here in Venda. Then they post, no, I found this in England. But it was produced here by someone called Ndagalo from Messina. Then a white man came here and took that thing, go and put it in a museum in England. When we go to England, when we get there, we go to their museums, they know beautiful art. They're here. They're from here, most of them. So, and also another thing that I want us to focus on is the value of our work. Because most of the time, back then they used to say Le Compo is not quality music. Look at Le Compo today. Until Le Compo became quality music when we decided to stop playing their music and play our own music. Now they realize that we are the biggest consumer of content, because when you look at TikTok, we do a lot of challenges, dance moves. That thing, it shows you who consume a lot of content. If as people of Limpopo were not consuming a lot of content, Makazi was not going to be famous. Monaga was not going to be famous. Sheveshit, we can name them. All of those people, they were not going to be as famous because they are playing the music, or they have the content that we understand. And because we supported that content, look at that content today is out there and people are enjoying our content. That's why they're saying Limpopo is a country. It's because even you look at the direction of the country, the big key positions, they are the people who are occupying those positions, they are from Limpopo. The minister of what do you call the minister, the president, from the president. You look at Julius Malema, you look at Floyd doing the rounds there, you look at the Reserve Bank. It's us here in Limpopo. We are a country. So we have to challenge those things and we have to support. And because we still have this opportunity, we must utilize it, because if another province grab it, because they see, it's not like these people they don't see. It's like us right now, you look at TV, everything is Zulu. Are you happy? Are you happy that everything is Zulu? Obviously, you're not happy. We want to see our people there, so that our language is there. When they say we are shooting in Venda, those people who, even if they have big names from Johannesburg, when they come, they are in a show that is, let's say it's a Venda show. They must come here, we must see them. We must not see them on TV only. They must come here and we must see them. They must come and sleep in these lodges. That's how you build economy. So we have to teach, work on maybe let me say a program that will educate our people about the economy. How do you run economy? How do you employ people? Because right now in the country there's a lot of gap, especially between the old and the young. The old ones are occupying positions and they don't want to leave. Right now we are trying, Shem. The only way we can make money is through fundings. And how much money do they put in for fundings for us to apply? It's not enough, because look at the country. How many are we in the country? Over 50 million people. Now, how many artists and young people are there in South Africa? So that population have to apply for that small amount that they put for everyone to apply. And another thing that we used to fight a lot is you apply for a program that worth 50,000, 500,000. Then now they give you 50,000 and they say you must readjust your budget. How do I readjust my budget because you give me the money for accommodation? I must as well go to vacation. Then they complain, no, but you guys can't use money. We can't use money because you're giving us what we were not expecting. So we do research, and I know, okay, if I want to host something like this, I need this much. If you cut my budget, take consideration of the key points on my budget, okay, but this one we can assist, we can talk to your municipality there, maybe give us letters, they give us venues or this and that, key talents for free. That we are able to say, okay, but it makes sense. But now I have to go and negotiate. When I get there, maybe one day, this other guy is the municipal manager, I offended him there at the parking lot. One day he was parking and I said something. Now when I get there, it's him. He remember my face. There's no way he'll give me the venue. Even if I apologize many times, he won't give me the venue. So what I'm trying to say is that we are in a very competitive space right now. So grab what you can, and we are going to also help you. One thing we do at South African Arts and Culture Forum is applying for fundings. We help people to apply for funding. How many are we here? We are over 30. Each and every one of us, if they apply, and 15 get the funding, and you employ 2 people here, and then the others, everyone will get job here. And then even if they are giving you 2.5, then when also you have your own project, you give another one 2.5. That money circulates around us. Now we have money to move. Rather than one person applied, now everyone wants job on that one person. It's impossible. Now I have to go and report and say I paid 12 people, but they say I must employ 10 people. Now I have to explain why there's a deviation there. So now they don't want to give me the remaining percentage because they say deviation there. So, but if we can work together and help each other to apply and make sure that everyone, after this film festival, with the information that you got, then we sit down and see what we can do, then you apply. And to the NAC, you see now you are here, you're going to make a presentation. And now you find that there are 200 people from Venda who applied. And then you say, Mara, Venda, there are too many people, there are other districts. But you came here, can you give them information? So meaning at least 50% to 60%, they must be funded. Even if you cut the budget, but then at least so that you can refer back, oh, it's because I was there. We are going to help them, and they must apply. With those few words, I'll see you, because I'll be with you all until the end of the festival. If there's anything that you want, I'm available to assist. Yeah, but don't ask for impossible things, because some of you, when we called you, you demand Hennessy's. Guys, we are not in the festival of alcohol. So, yeah, but thank you so much for attending, and I hope you'll enjoy, and this festival is going to be beneficial to you. And enjoy Venda. The weather is perfect. It's not winter here.
I forgot to also thank Mr. Madega for checking the play. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Mr. Romeo, you forgot to welcome also the great content creator, Mr. Austin. You know that guy? Who is it? The white man. The one who is different from others. That guy is my son.
Hey, man, sorry, but hey, I'm going to brother. Welcome.
He's going to give me a special brief by introducing him like this on the social media. I know him very well. He's like a quiet man, but hey, it's a trouble one. Yeah, he came to the right place. Guys, in short, I want to say we are very much lucky, and we are very much blessed to be given this opportunity. It's not an easy thing to get this type of opportunity, guys. There are too many people who are looking for this opportunity, free of charge, to get free knowledge. Do you understand? You are going to get benefit a lot of things from this workshop. Why are you making things difficult for us? But in short, guys, we are going to give you one of our poems. Oh, we're going to give you a special poet. Ani abori ni kakodwe. Zino umutu kudoni simbeza bukoni bune abanao except bukoni habu MC. So kakodwe kade basumbeze mwana uripisa. This is my daughter, guys. Together with that guy, those two are my children. So over to you. You can show them how talented you are. Can we clap our hands together for them?
Being cute is a problem. Because at first I was introducing myself as a facilitator, now I'm being introduced as a poet. All because I'm cute. And it's fine. So I'm going to render a poem for you. I'm the one who wrote it. And the poem goes like this. Drizzles began to fall, pitter patter. Then it takes over the state with no hesitation. I'm now the slave of my own body. Was that not a temple of my own? The shredding and peeling of my skin is not what I signed for. Substance become the mother tongue of the youth. Crime become the colonizer of my beautiful nation. Almighty, please drag the country out of the darkness. Hopefully, the darkness will become the light one day. How will I get the eloquency to destroy the dirty minds of the youth? The treasure box is under their nose, but they choose to look back and enjoy the dirtiness of the world. Tears after tears like tropical cyclone. Let our minds be homozygous so that we can fight the pandemic. Let the echo of peace be heard, and let education be our national anthem. For we are the future of our motherland. Ngauralo ndarindine muvenda mbikwa na ive la rubiva muvenda asala.
Otavanya tu wakarendo ndani kunyabo mujoina na ndo tendo kujoina palori ndipo masenga mrozuwa machina mbato ana rufa anosumwa musa vanita vayavo likana zamazo ukongwana musa. So guys, feel at home again. So redoringeza uriri chimbidze ino ni programo utavanya samsiro no direnga rono vamurawa chipinga richiko tutuwedzana lelitila uri guys kari vele panda na u fara zvinera kukudziwa zvone rekadiva na ndiwo njingamanda ine rekadiyo shera panoni na vaurwani vamorini vane vavadzi professions kaino kaelisi yela zifilimu. So na viwe rekoravera uri ni dovavura mabindu vamudhima chena. So atingambisi zvinji. Let me take this opportunity to hand it over to our colleague Ms. Tola Petra, who is going to make a sort of presentation about funding. Over to you, Ms. Petra.
I was thinking of presenting from here, but because of the setup, let me just stand here. My pajama side, so that I don't discuss the screen.
Okay.
Dumelang, good morning or good day. As I've already been introduced, I'm Tula. Actually, you can hear me at the back. Yes. Okay, perfect. I come from the National Arts Council, where we work with all sorts of artists, but some are excluded as artists. But we work with a lot of artists, especially the performing artists. So we currently have a call that's open for funding, and it's called the 2025 Annual Project Funding. So we have different calls in a year. This one is for project funding. Okay. Then I'm going to take you through the guidelines of what you need to do when you're applying and what are the documents that are needed. So we're going to speak English mostly. And then if you don't understand Sepedi, because that's what I can mix with, I'm not, I actually don't even want to lie to say I'm not good at Sevenda. I don't speak Sevenda at all. So unfortunately, it's either going to be English mixed with Sepedi, but I'm sure we can all understand each other in English. And I've already given booklets. They are written, those ones. Let me show you. These are the booklets that everybody has. The information I'm going to be sharing today is in here. There's some information that I don't necessarily have to go through. Only vision and mission and a whole lot of business. So in the interest of time, I know we've got enough time, but for us to rather focus on what's very important for your application to be successful, I'll take you through the presentation, but a lot of information will come. So if you want to take any notes down from what I'm doing, I see there's a beautiful booklet there for taking notes, but you can also make your notes in here as well. So how you all going through and you're reading it, and there's something that I explained, but you didn't understand, then you just make a note around or at the same page. Okay, so don't know if you know the NAC, if anybody has ever heard of the National Arts Council. Have you?
Yes.
So you have applied before. Perfect. Then those who you also know, ne? Those who don't know and who have never seen the grant management system that we use for applying, just after I've spoken on when you get a minute, lunch, go on your phone and look for website there and then check how to apply or apply now rather. There's a tab, it's on apply now. Go into it and look and then ask those who have already applied before to show you navigate it. It's very simple, am I right? It's very simple. You just, all you need is to have your documents, be able to upload them. You can do it like a phone, you don't need a laptop. So I'm happy that there are people that can always guide when there's a problem. So this is the mandate. Mandate is just to help make sure that people get information, people get funded, your art is seen out there in the country and abroad. And that's exactly what this is saying. And it's also to make sure that people that are in the rural areas know about funding, know about opportunities that are available. Because if I don't come here, you only know that, oh yeah, we heard that this one's got money. And maybe a person suddenly or maybe you got a tender. It's not a tender. Our funding is for everybody that's willing and that's applying. You know, tenders, you either get a tender or you don't. But with our funding, because you show us what you're doing and what you're good at, you could very well be funded if you adhere to all the compliance documents. Okay. So this funding, as I said, is for everybody that's in the performing arts. That covers people that are practitioners in what we call disciplines. Disciplines, I don't know what the other words you use, but disciplines is what we call craft, dance, literature, music, theater, and musical theater, visual arts, multidiscipline, and just like that. So, but I'll explain what we mean by multidiscipline, what we mean by theater, what goes into all of those things, and what are the oppositions. So everybody who is in that space is encouraged to apply. And then finally, South African indigenous art forms. In this area, especially Movanda, there's a rich culture here. Indigenous art forms, like people who have musical instruments out of things that are not in the shops. You know, they have a stick and then they can have a string, maybe 1 or 2 strings, because I've seen it go literature before. It's usually done by older people, but I think even young people do have those kind of things. So those are very important. You can apply. And in most cases, if you apply only that's unique, you are definitely going to get funding because you're the only one maybe at that time. But I'll apply for those kind of things. And I don't know what examples to give you when it comes to indigenous art forms, but I can think about the musical instruments that people usually use. So there could be something else that is used, things that have been used back then in the days. They're still very relevant now because they are in art form. So when you go on the website, this is the poster you're going to find to say this is we opened 2nd of June. We're closing Friday, 11th July, and the outcomes will only be out 17th October unless they can be made earlier. But after 11th July is closing. That means you're supposed to have all the documents in, gathered, and you've applied. Don't wait for the 11th. Rather apply a few days earlier, because on the day of the 11th, everybody is applying, and then the system becomes very slow. Then people start complaining, oh yeah, but then it blocked us outside or something, or it was too slow, we couldn't upload, whatever complaints. But if you do it in time, just like anything else, don't wait for the last minute, please. So, as I'm saying, the information is just going to be helping you with what we need to apply. Now, we've got 2 sets of applicants at the NEC. The first will be called individuals. An individual is somebody who applies kaboyen. You know, you don't apply as a group or a company or anything, it's just you apply. If you're a poet, you're a poet because you work alone. If you're a choreographer, you are a choreographer. As much as you teach people to dance, but it's you as the individual that's going to apply. If you're a music producer, and the producer as a group is one person producing, unless I'm wrong there. And that's what it is. Now, we also have organizations, that's usually companies and groups. Ne? So, but anyway, let me take you through individuals and tell you what we mean by it. So, I said this is meant to benefit individual arts practitioners, for example, choreographers, composers, poets, comedians, those are individuals. In cases where several people are working collaboratively on a project, one member of the group should take the lead in applying. If you're a choreographer, you work with different people. Or let's say, Romeo, he'll be the one applying, even though he works with a lot of different people. It's his company or organization or whatever it is, he's going to be the lead company, the lead applicant. So all applicants must be over 18 years old, and projects must be implemented in South Africa, across the continent, or abroad. I can't remember when you're in film or whatever you do, you can put it on YouTube and it will be consumed here, it will be consumed overseas, it will be seen everywhere. Now with digital technology, everything is really flying out. So those who work for the government are not allowed to apply, or they cannot be assisted. But then those who are part of the program here, EPWP, CWP, Community Work Program, and even interns, Babadi Learnership, they can apply because they're not full-time employed. And then organizations, again we've spoken about individuals, so organizations, this is applications from formally registered organizations, groups, and institutions. Right? This is anybody that's formally registered. In most cases, you'll have a company that is registered because you're an organization. You can see the organization like you form a company, but a registered company name. So that's also needed. So you have to be the company and the people within it should be 18 years old and over. And your projects again should be implemented in SA across the continent and abroad. And applications from organizations or institutions led or owned by individuals working for government will not be considered. That's for government employees like myself. And then, but the others, as I mentioned already, individuals can apply. Now, there's something we call compliance documents, which is very important. This is the most important step when you apply. If you fail the compliance part or the stage, your documents are put aside. But then if you pass this, at least your documents will go to a panel or specialist that will look at it and look at your proposal. We don't look, when you look at compliance, we don't look at proposal. People will be saying, yeah, but then my proposal is better. And yes, I missed only a certified ID. But if you don't have it, you can't get it. It's like going to a bank. If they say, bring us a certified ID code, and you don't bring it, they won't give you the loan. But fortunately, we don't give loans. Sorry to confuse. So for individuals, where I said is an individual that's applying, we need a copy, certified copy of your ID. And mobile certifying, it must not be older than 12 months. We understand each other, ne? Mm-hmm. And then we need confirmation of a bank account or banking details. It can be a bank statement, it can be a letter that you can download from the internet, but it has to have your name, the applicant's name. Yeah? And then the CV. If you're okay, so let me go back to the bank details. If you're the one that's applying, again the details will be in your name. Even that letter must be in your name. You can't take your brother's banking account. Whether you've got money or you don't have in that account, it's fine. It's your account details anyway. Upload those because you need your name. Then the CV, it has to be your CV, and that CV should have all your personal details. You know, like when you apply for a job, we all need CVs again. But then also just make sure that you include just a snippet, what is it that you do. If you're a musician, this is me, I'm so old, I've got, I don't know, whatever, how old, and this is where I live, my address, and everything. I'm a musician, just like a former CV, but still, I'm a musician. I started singing or making music 20 years ago. That's enough, not too much, because it's only a CV. Most of the information will be in the application form anyway. And then you also send examples of your work, the work that you've done. If you're already writing a book, send us the examples or the pictures of the books that you've written or those that you're writing. It can be brochures if you do have brochures. It can be a newspaper article if you've been interviewed before. It can be a video. It can be anything. But those things should be uploaded also as part of your application. And then we need 2 reference letters. Those reference letters are written by somebody either in the community, or it could be Masipala, it can be as I said, community leaders, arts organizations as well. Anybody that will be able to write about the work you do. Nice and beautiful for you, I get. Then when they write those reference letters, what happens, get reference letters, again we need 2. So you go to, let's say we are Masipala, reference letter. It should be on the letterhead. If you go Rakhosi or Murudi or whoever it is, and they don't have a reference letter, they must write their address, their contact number. Then they write everything about you. And when they write that letter, they must mention your name as an individual. Miss Tulapetla Ramotse, she's been doing this and that in the community. We've been working with her for however long. It's just a reference that they usually know how to write it. And then after that, it's the address at the top, or even Kakasi, depending on what the letterhead says. And then they write. Then after writing, they must put the name down for it. This letter is written by or issued by or whatever it is, or so sincerely, Mr. Patrick Makua, and then assign the signature is important, and I will sign name, contact number, signature, contact number, address, what is it that I'm missing? Yeah, signature, you either do it electronically or you print out, you sign a card or you scan back. But electronic signatures are important, are also accepted. So we have said for again address, full address, contact details, natural signature as well, and then and those letters, if you do have them, especially those who have applied or who have used them before, these ones must not be older than 18 months. Some people would have letters that they got 2 years ago from somebody, but we need those that are not older than 18 months. Okay? So if you're doing capacity building or Baba trainer, body workshop and all that in the art store, right? You need to send us a training manual. You apply like everybody else, but then you also attach a training manual. So I think there is somebody who's training. As a trainer, it's also you do have a manual again. If you don't have it, it's important, because that's when people say, "Hey, I applied because I wanted to have a workshop here, the crafters. I wanted to have a workshop here, the dancers, but they didn't. I wasn't successful. It's because we didn't attach the manual. Unless a little before when you apply, it wasn't needed, but it's always been needed. So it's very important. Manual to show this is what I'm going to be teaching people on day 1. This is what we're doing day 2, and you know." Okay, and then I've said we've got organizations as well. Organizations, I said, it's a company or a group of people that are working together. They have a registered company. So in this case, on individuals, we need 1 ID copy, which is certified. So organization, because you're not working alone, we need 2 certified ID copies, and they should not be older than 12 months, as in the certified dates. Not the ID itself, mobile certified link, it must not be older than 12 months. So 2 of those. And then confirmation of banking details, and that bank letter, in this case, must reflect the name of the organization. Again, when you register a company, you go or you register the company and you also go to the bank or the banking account, organization, so that when the money comes in, it doesn't go into somebody's pocket, it goes into the organization's details. So that's the banking statement that we need, or the account number. Banking letter. Not Yamoto, but, and even that letter must show the organization's details or the name. Then we need the organization's registration certificate. I hear there is a problem here, the NPO, the NGO. I can say that they've been frozen or what, but if you do have NPO registration details, submit, they're still relevant for us. And then we need 2 full CVs of the lead applicant and 1 senior office bearer. So per individual is 1 CV, but this side, the organizations get 2. All right? So we find like that. Then examples of the work we've done before. As I said, like the individuals, give you photo, it can be brochures, it can be whatever else that you have that will show us the work you are doing. And so I'd be also happy to say, this person has been working, or they just started, but then at least we can see what they're trying to do. And it's always nice to tell a story, got the pictures, we all know that. And then we need 2 reference letters. The 2 reference letters are the same as what we get from the individual side. They mustn't be older than 18 months. They must be signed with address, contact number, and the name of the person that is signing. But in this case, even if you're the individual that's asking for that reference letter, the reference must not mention your name. It must mention the name of the organization. Do you understand me? I can't show you're not awake the organization. So that letter must be directed to the organization. Great. And the last part says those who are doing training, even if the lead organization, please, training manual is very important. So are we fine on this section before I move, because it's quite, you wanna like, I don't know what's the best way. Let's do questions afterwards, ne? Let's do questions after this. But then if you can just say yes, move on, we're fine. If you're not, put your notes down, ne? And then we'll talk about it later. I just don't want to have the questions before the presentation is finished. So the projects we can fund, as I said, that in dance, music, theater, musical theater, multidisciplinary crafts, literature, and visual arts, and it can be creation of new works, capacity building, which is training, performances, productions, concerts, showcases, art, craft and art exhibitions, publishing, capacity building, and book fairs in those disciplines, right? So, actually, let's go back. Let me explain. Dancing, there's a lot, culturally and traditionally, we have a lot of dance groups. Only traditional dance, only contemporary, only whatever other kind of dance. But then as black people, we quite strong traditional dance. So that's very nice. We not say because dance shows and only don't. We need those to come out, because that's where you can have an event, you can have a festival, and that's the dance groups we're talking about. Then music, we're talking about all sorts of music. There's producers, there's composers, there are also, whether it's piano, it's whatever you can think of. Music is music, right? And then we have theater and musical theater. On the theater part, we say we want people that are going to be acting on stage. It also includes poetry. It also includes comedy, poetry, and stage works. They're all part of theater. And musical theater, if you're in theater, you'll know what it is. Those are the big productions. More multidisciplinary, it's for somebody that says, I am a dancer. I'm a dancer, I'm going to have a festival, yeah, dance, ne? But within that festival, there will be musicians, there will be people that are entertaining their music, ne? There will be people that are also exhibiting their crafts, the body crafters. So already there's 3 different disciplines, you understand? So that's why I like multi. You're not focusing on only one. So sometimes we have a literature festival. And a literature festival, it includes about painting, drawing, visual arts, and it will craft as exhibitors. Even though the focus is on literature, but there will be those other ones. So those supporting other ones, then it forces you to apply under multidiscipline. So kitty crafters, we mostly know crafters. South Africa, especially in the rural areas, we're quite rich kitty crafts. It's the sculptor, the painter, what else is in craft? But we know them, ne? I'm sure am I right that we know what craft is, or crafters, what they do? Okay, perfect. And then literature, kidi buka, ne? Baba malang. Visual arts, baba drawing, baba painting, photographers, my professional photographers who are accredited, whose work is really known and seen, and they do it differently. I'm sure Abuti Mona is also a professional photographer. We're not talking about those ones who take photos, carry phone, and then they put them on TikTok, and then say, okay, my phone is so good, so I'm a professional photographer. No, not those ones. Okay. And then what we exclude, what we do not fund, the architects. Architectures usually give out the plan for the office and all that. We don't fund it. That's not arty enough. Beauty pageants, we don't fund beauty pageants because the art in it is quite controversial. So we don't do that. Church choirs, even though it's part of music, we don't. There's too many church choirs. We will not get to. We won't even be able to adjudicate church choirs, if you know what I mean. General magazines is somebody saying, I want to have a magazine also only True Love, or also only whatever really you can think of, what's lemon. We don't have that, unless it's something that you're going to write that's very artistic and that's within the arts and culture space. And novice writers, anyone that's a writer will know what a novice writer is. Those are startups that are the up-and-coming writers. We need people that have got material, that's something that's been written. So you need to say, I want money because with my books, I'm going to have a book fair. I'm going to have exhibition. I'm going to have something. You can't have a book fair when you're still starting up. You still have things in draft. So infrastructure. That's for somebody who say, I want to get a studio because I'm a musician and I get a studio. So please build me a studio. Someone will say, build me a theater. Someone will say, please buy me a guitar. I'm a musician, but I get a guitar. I don't have a laptop, but I a piano. Those kind of things. We don't buy anything for people unless it's within the project. More like we can only give you money to buy certain things, but not the infrastructural things. And then interior design. That's when you make people's houses and offices pretty. We do not pay for those. Music arrangement of other people's work without permission. As musicians, you know this is very dangerous. You don't do it because the minute you do it, you can even be arrested. So you don't do that, especially without permission. Personal commissions and commissions of by other institutions, purchasing of books. So you have to write your books so you'll be able to take out your work, not to buy people's books, please. And then what we're also excluding is purchasing of equipment. I've already mentioned buying the guitars, the pianos. We don't fund that. Purchasing of musical instruments, I guess for me that's the same thing. Purchasing of stage equipment, running costs, not associated with the project being applied for. seed funding, vanity press publishing, videos and film. On videos and film, at least today we've got the Film and Publication Board. If they do have calls for applications, they'll tell you about it. But we have a sister company called the NFVF, which is the National Film and Video Foundation. You can apply. I think, if I'm not wrong, there's a call that's out now, but somebody can check and verify. I don't know if it's closed already or it's still ongoing. So those are the ones that are having the film and video money. They'll mostly assist you. You can ask Romeo about it, because I saw on the pull-up banners they've got the logos, so it means they do work with them. Then they'll be able to give you the information. Right. Now, when we come to the assessment criteria, you can read this for now while I'm having a sip of water, but I'm going to take you through the assessment criteria in the booklet. Right. So for you to get money, the important part is the compliance documents, for the ID, the reference letters and all that. But then when you look on page 12 of this booklet, this page 12 here, the assessment criteria, and then the first part, the criteria is about 5. Now the first one, give program impact, in at least 6 sections. So when you apply, make sure at least you choose 2 of these the program impact. But I'm going to be addressing, let's say, social ills. Addressing social ills means, for my proposal is talking about taking people from the streets, using the drugs, because maybe they don't have anything to do. But then if I can teach them to dance, if I can teach them to do music properly, if I can give them confidence in whatever way, or I'll train them to be able to do things, that's addressing social ills. Sometimes we talk about GBV, it's just examples that I'm giving you. Then marginalized communities. Now we know that in the rural areas there are not so many opportunities, but then if you give people opportunities, by exposing them to whatever is around what they can do. We teach them, we expose them, come music, we expose them, and remember music, dance, anything that's in the arts, it's really educational. So you educate people in those kind of things. So social cohesion and nation building, we're trying to better ourselves, we're trying to better the nation and all that. You can choose 2 of them, and then the other one is supporting vulnerable groups. I've already mentioned it. Mara, it will also include the youth, people with disabilities, and women that are really still not really oppressed, but they don't know where to start, they don't know what to do. So we need those people, those groups, to be working together and be involved. And then new works and innovation, this is anything that we can't imagine. Like, I've never seen this, I've never thought it could be done. That's the new works. So whatever you do, you have to motivate. Well, what do you mean by it? The proposal, it has to be motivated. But what is it? Why should we fund you? So if that impact part, you'll see the scores. Before. If you don't motivate thoroughly, you'll be in trouble, because you need to have at least 40 points. Or whatever you write, don't write 1 line or 2 lines or whatever, or a small paragraph. Write enough to make somebody see that as much as oratarat, but this is going to be very beneficial in the area. You're a young person from whatever rural area, this is what you do, this is what you've noticed in the community. You want to address social ills because this is what most of the ladies in the village are doing. They want, they used to be these people that give people, they give you money. But again, what is that thing? No. I get a young lady will get a boyfriend, and then mom from the motor find they used to be called. Not even sugar daddy, the one there's a term used not so long ago. Accept blesser, yes. So for people to to stop being blessed, or to be blessed rather, it's because they don't know what you do. It's either you're gonna get 350 at the end of or you're gonna get blessed or do some crafts, So it's those kind of things. People do things for different reasons. Information, we don't know what we're doing, we don't know where to go. But when you attend these kind of workshops, at least you know, apply for funding. Because now I know I can sing. Who knows I'll get the money? And if I don't get the money, it's because there's something wrong I'm doing. I'm going to ask the NEC people and say, why didn't you fund me? Where did I go wrong? So that when you apply again, now you've got it right. Profiling, this is where we say we need to increase awareness and access to markets, and also for you to be working with the youth. Emphasize how you're going to be working with the youth and young people. What is it that they need? What is it that you're going to do for them? How are you going to reach them and all that? Sustainability, we can come here every year and maybe fund somebody. But that person with that money, you need to be sustainable. Show that the project is going to be sustainable because you're going to do this, you're going to be working with these people, and this is how the money is going to carry you till the end of the year. But over and above that, because now you understand what you're doing, it's also going to ensure that even if NEC doesn't give me money, somehow that's sustainability. Because you can apply this year, we fund you, but the next year, maybe we don't. Now what happens? You go to put him as well. No. So whatever you do, anything and everything you do, make sure that you have a plan going forward. I can actually stand on my own. That's sustainability. And then partnerships, they're very important. As I said, we don't fund for infrastructure or studio or whatever. So as the guy, I think that was talking here, he said, whatever little bit we give you, if you apply for 500,000 and you give you 150, yes, yeah, short up, who would do? So what it means is, go and knock on a door, and say, we see you've got parking, you've got a venue, and I've got people that are doing this and that. We need space. Can you please give us the venue? But okay, no, we're busy, and then over and above that, while we're doing it, because I get us for the community, we're asking for the venue, and then maybe venue, the cleaners or whoever it is, then you don't have to pay a lot of people. And then you can also now go to the community, and if there's a nice person, a shop owner, you go to them and say, we need sandwiches, we need bread, just that's partnerships. You work with different people in that way, and then you manage to get to the amount that you needed, and or else why you bump it up in one way or another, whatever we've given you. And then also processes. The financial management is very important. You have to be able to specify what is it that you're going to do, where is the money going to be spent, how is it going to be spent, dissect, or it's about transport, you about venue, you about food and whatnot, all those things, you include them. And then, before I even leave that part here, we say, please do not apply for anything that's more than 350. 350,000 is a lot of money because we work nationally. So what that means is, but why Cape Town apply for the same project funding? Everybody applies to the NAC. So if more vendor, we manage to give only 5 out of the entire vendor, it's better than nothing because we get everybody. And everyone applying who's in the arts, and you can imagine that 20 artists give away in children, so they all apply. Whatever you get, whatever you apply for, don't even make a mistake. No, but then now 500,000. If it's 500, we're not going to be able to give it, and we won't even be able to read your proposal because it's already above the threshold. So we don't have a minimum. Apply for 50,000, or you can't apply for 100. You can't apply for anything and everything, but it mustn't be more than 350,000. Out of whatever you apply for, make sure 15% Yeah, and we specify in the proposal or 15% care the running costs. And the running costs, we're talking about the printer, stationery, the data, traveling for before the project. Maybe just locally, those are the running costs. So 15% only, don't make it a big percentage. Some people made a mistake, only 50% will go for the data and the printer. Then you're left with what for project? Because if it's a festival, it needs a lot of money and it's expensive. If it's an exhibition, you need to get the tafel, the tabletop, the dulo, shade, and that money is important. And if you're doing music, the sound system to pay the band itself, to transport them to the event, but then transporting of the band for the event, that comes within the project cost. It's not running costs. You understand? Perfect. Then general information, we say only one project per beneficiary or applicant can be funded. Only one application will be supported from an individual or organization. Only one. So what that means is we can't get one individual analyzing 3 ideas or 3 proposals and make it apply for A. Out of all of them, then we're going to get only one that we fund. And it's always safer to apply for one because you may find that we don't fund something that's very good according to when, but we find something that we think is best. So let's rather limit to one only. All the applications are on there. They're supposed to be made on GMS, but then if you don't have, or if you have challenges, car phone or car laptop, you can ask the office to give you manual application forms. And those ones are also available. You send an email to info@nsc.org.za, then the manual forms will be sent to you. With those manual forms, you still upload or you attach those required compliance documents. If you need to phone Molly Stack for any reason, you phone 011 010 8886. And then things like financial statements, tax clearance certificate are not needed now at the time of application. This is to make sure that you don't run around looking for the tax clearance certificate. Now you're like, oh my goodness, she's already late. And tax clearance, I hate you same day or whatever it is. No, only when you're granted, if you've been funded, that's when you say, send us your tax clearance certificate. And depending on how much you applied for or you got given, we will ask for audited financial statements. But not everybody is going to be asked for audited financial statements, especially for individuals. And then, as I said, the requirements for a valid tax clearance certificate remains a requirement. Okay, that's what I've already explained. For a tax clearance certificate is only going to be needed, highly funded. For now, we're making sure that everything goes as smoothly as possible with only the compliance documents that are needed. And those ones, honestly, they can take you a day to compile. Because the idea was certified, then you ask for 2 reference letters, and I don't know what else I didn't mention, but those are simple. Okay. Applicants can only be funded once per financial year as per the NSC's regulations. Anyway, happens only once a year. The NSC project funding is once a year. At one stage, there are 2 calls. Presidential employment stimulus, but that's not for NEC. Yeah, NEC, yeah, presidential, we administer it, but then it's not what we're talking about today. So I've already said if you apply, if you're asking for more than 350, which is a threshold, it would happen. And then any project, when you're given money, if now feel a grant, start your project whenever you get the money and make sure that it's finished by March 31. And then that's actually what I think I've got for you today. Yeah, I think it's the end. Anyway, you felt like my presentation. Thank you very much. So, MC, you will guide me if we take questions now or what's.
Thank you, ma'am, for your wonderful presentation. So, maralikwile uri vari chelete elasi ore kama gunyams. Ever apply 300,000 and say I want to renovate my house. I was just reminding you as you are kama gunyams. So, we are going to dedicate this time for questions and answers. And if you stay there like, nah, I don't have a question, I will tell them or they must come to you so that when you can tell us everything that you had. And really, you know what teachers do. There are those quiet learners in class. At the end of the day, they even fail the exam. So don't keep quiet. Tell it, your money will go. So yeah, I hand over this time to you.
Sorry, my sister. Only Phyllis Bakasa, at least now you can ask questions, the ones that Mr. always go to answer it. So if you have any question, you can raise your hands. You can come closely.
But can I ask a question?
Okay.
So how do you want to do it? Are you taking maybe 5 questions for now? We take them down, then I'll answer one by one. Oh, okay, answer as they're asking. Which one is
I
better?
think if you can note it down,
Yeah?
only 5 questions.
And then we'll take again.
And we'll take it again.
Yeah.
I think it can be better. Those who have questions, over to you.
You can speak.
Okay, firstly, allow me to greet each and everyone in this place in your different positions. And secondly, before I get into the question towards the national arts and culture, allow me, program director, to just complain about one thing, or let me just say correct one thing, because some of us, I understand that we in arts we say that we follow every religion, but allow me to emphasize that it is very important that whenever we host any kind of program, we must always consider the prayer. Might it be through the national anthem or definitely the prayer. I realize that today we did not do that, but for future, please let's correct it. Thank you. Now to NAC. I'm a 5-time rejectee of NAC. From 2020, I've been rejected to date. Now, last year I was fortunate because South African Arts and Culture Youth Forum did come into our rescue because I was just making mistakes in the applications. So they did try to help. Even though they did that, I got rejected. Now, I just have one question because I had all the presentation and I'm fine with the presentation, but I want to ask an extra question, a question which is extra towards the information you've provided. Now, my question is very simple. I just want to know, is there a way that we can be able to get the panel review in order to know where we went wrong in our applications so that perhaps in future we can correct it when doing the application? Thank you.
Another hand.
My name is Munisa Machams, and I'm one of the people who got rejected. So, but then they rejected me and advised me to apply for emergency funding. I don't know what is emergency funding because you didn't talk about it. Yes, can you please clarify?
Thank you very much, man. My name is Mkweno Brown. My question is just very much simple. I just want to know, you talked about the training manuals if you are applying as an individual. So also you talked about the what do you call this assessment criteria. So when you talk about the training manuals, does it work the same, or is it the same thing with the project proposal, which we have to also maybe include the assessment criteria that you want to achieve on your project that you want to host? Thank you very much for that.
Any question?
Our very engineers.
Engineers.
Yeah, if we give them names, they
Thank you very much for the questions. So I'll start with you, Abu, to the first one. You said you rejected since 2020, but now you got the hang of it. Now you know where you're going wrong. But I need to, did you apply last year where you got rejected again? Please give me your funding number just after this. Here, just because there will be information here on why is it, where did you get it wrong? I'll check it on the spot. That's what we can do. Then that's the panel reviews or the notes you're talking about. Even go officing, after you get rejected and now you are aggrieved, phone them and ask them what happened. I get it, let's say, you're rejected for which discipline?
Last year we wanted to host this biology arts festival.
But was it under multidiscipline?
Yes.
Okay, so you phoned the multidiscipline person or write them an email if you want, and really not now because we're not going to check it, but anytime, not only problem. You phone the NSC and say, can I speak to somebody who are multidiscipline or what craft or what dance? I've been rejected and I've been rejected forever and ever. What happened? Then they will be able to give you the same information I'll give you. Right? And then emergency funding, it's you.
Yes.
Emergency funding is, let's say you are applying for something that's taking place next month. Or
Yes, I was applying I was hosting a film festival actually. So it was for, I think, 2 months before.
You see, that's emergency because Rena Kolya Rena.
Yes.
As I'm saying, we open Kari to June. We're still gonna have a long process until the results come out ka October. So when it is 2 months before, 2 months ago, do you understand what I'm saying? Emergency means what? I need money immediately, like urgently now. Please, can you assist? Marliana Chelta emergency is not throughout the year. We have it at the beginning of the financial year, April, and sometimes a lot of people know about it, so they apply fast, especially with music. Overseas to perform in London, so they need money urgently. So they quickly apply to say we've invited to come to whatever place called London to perform, so we don't have funds. Then okay, emergency, we still have some bit of money in the coffers. So the other thing is, if you apply for a film festival, we may not have been able to fund you because, as I said, we do not fund film and video. That's done by the NFVF. Do you understand?
Yes, they advised me to also try FP.
Yes,
Then
because we do not at all fund.
they managed to give us something.
That's all they managed to give you something.
Yes,
That's-
for catering, 45K for
It's
catering.
better than nothing, you see. Mara NSC Yonaka film is not going to help much. They'll still say try about, you know, but not for it's not within our budget. Then the training manuals. Training manuals, you're saying, should they be part of the proposal? In the proposal, you write for you're going to be training and whatnot. And then there's a tab, if you are doing capacity building, you need to include training manual. So you upload that separately. You'll see it somewhere in the in the training in the application form. There is a part there for capacity building include training manual. Labor theater, like everywhere, usually for theater, lay dancing, whatever it could be. Whatever, if you're doing training, upload training manual. So you can only mention it, but then upload it separately. Okay. And then you said assessment criteria. Kind of, what was the question there? Assessment criteria.
No, I was asking according to if the training manuals and the proposal is the same thing, so that if you have to know the assessment criteria that you have to include, that you can meet this assessment criteria, you have to include on the proposal.
I can assessment criteria is only for when you assess your proposal. What did you include? That's why I get when you look at the assessment fields, you choose maybe more program impact or you write those in your proposal. But I'm focusing on this, I'm focusing on that. When you look at the application form, you'll see all these things I'm talking about, they're there. When I can a test page, we haven't been given one this time because we give you answers and release direction. You have to do things this way, and they will only showing you. But then anyway, I think Romeo, they do have the page. They are able to open it and help you. Now I can't open. Can I let GMS the system? But I cannot because I already have a password. I can't use it. I cannot apply. So somebody like Romeo could assist you guys if you're really serious about applying. They will know you've done it before, and anyone that has applied before, they'll show you what and this is what is needed, and these are the fields that you fill in. It's very easy. Okay, I'll say it's very easy, but even those that have applied, they'll tell you the same. So, Leona, assessment criteria is for the panel members to assess what you've written and assess your request. Okay. And one thing I didn't tell you about. I don't know. And see, are there still more questions, or should I just add something that I didn't mention? Because I'd rather finish this part before it's an only bazaar.
Since they don't have any further questions, you can proceed with.
So it means they're not going to apply for funds. If you are ever waiting for a tender to do things for government, it's gonna take long. But if you want to do what you're very good at and apply for funds for that, it could really happen. But I'm happy that Abdimola Orle, he applied so many times, but he realized that he was making a mistake, and now he's got it right. But I'm gonna check for him to see where else what was happening. So those who are studying or those who are still at school, go university or tertiary. Once you finish your degree, your first degree, and you want to do postgrad, local postgrad bursaries that we offer. The call comes out once a year, sometimes we skip on like last year we didn't have it, but this year, as far as I know, we're going to have it. If for postgrad studies, if not, go TEF, you finish your first degree, you applied again, you want to do your honors or you want to do your masters or whatever it is, or PhD, and you don't have the funds, give it a try, go NSC. And yet the bursary one, I need a proposal. It needs motivation. Where you're going to study, what is it that you want to do, and all that. You follow strictly. You follow the documents that the criteria as well, or cost structure, everything that's needed. You ask the university to give you all those things. They're usually from the prospectus and everything that's needed. And then, I administer the bursary. I know that there isn't a problem. If compliance is good, in most cases, you're going to be funded. Okay, so that's bursaries. And we have international bursaries call that's out now. That's for people that have been accepted to study overseas. So if you have interest of studying overseas, start applying to whatever institution that you want overseas. And Kemago accept you. then you wait for NSC's annual international bursaries call. You apply immediately. Acceptance letter and everything. We could give you money as well to further your studies. So that's bursaries. And then the other ones, if you finally block, institutional block bursaries, that one is done by institutions applying on behalf of the learners. So if you're at school or at tertiary and you don't have money, you're struggling, you go to your finance department or bursary unit or department and ask them to put your name down and actually make them aware that I am aware that NSC gives bursaries. Can you please, as a university, apply for us? Then they will apply and then they'll put you on their list. That's all I have for today, but I'm disappointed that people don't have questions. It may be that you don't know what we do or you don't want to apply. And I'm all the way from Johannesburg and only to find that people don't have questions. I'm not that, but at least you know.
Okay,
thank you very much though for listening.
Are you aware that we are going to receive certificate, guys, and write an exam? Yeah. But I have only one question that I want to ask you. Let me ask my sister here. Are we together? Ndiziphi your project zine zikolo kufandiwa? Comes to be only two projects that cannot be funded. Can you just mention only two? So let's say there are only that's all. So that can say
music. Defunding. There's a whole defund.
yes.
Jeja ukumala kimutwa mutajirilo kurle jeja ukumala kimutwajiri dilo without mutomwe asadzibi lijelo ni vari
YouTube.
Out of 10, who pay how many? Out of 10, who pay how many? That's a very certificate. How many documents, or can you mention only 3 documents that we have to submit the time when we apply as an individual? Only document that we can use it the time when we make a sort of application. Only 3.
Certificate ID.
Yeah.
CV, curriculum CV.
Okay.
Valid. No, English.
7. People pay how many out of 10?
8 out of 10.
8 out of 10. Thank you very much, guys. At least you are trying. Half of loaf is better than no bread. So, guys, let's be serious. More the wakata Lela or the wakata Yachale, the school magenda guys. You are still young to urinate verity, say Kamachiro Abi Urune. What she said is inside of this book, the one that you have, guys. Do you know the website, the one that you are going to use it when the time when you apply? Do you know? Even the contact number, it's inside here, guys, at the back. It's written. Everything is right here. So this is our opportunity. Let's try with all the best to go and apply, guys. So we are now moving to another item, guys. It's just that we don't have a sound system. We were supposed to get some music because I really enjoy music, and when it comes to dance, I'm very much far, guys. Even that guy from Limpopo, who's the guy? Limpopo guy. He was working under my company. I'm a dancer, strong and roughly. So liska tswa mo tlela re bua maaka ole. I'm joking, guys. So